No problem. Don't worry. I understand.
My
Um,
problem, ma'am. Yes. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, my question to you today is, how would you fire someone?
Ma'am, I never fire someone, but if I have to choose to fire someone, maybe like a boss, if I
Mhm.
would be boss, and if I have an option to fire, then I will decide with the employee first how to do and what to do in the
Mhm.
politely way, not to fire like a fire, just maybe politely how to do and talk with that employee first and
Mhm.
decide whether to fire employee is very hard, how employees react, maybe it's a reaction is not good in the front of employee or boss also, or
Okay.
maybe I focused first I focused on employee behavior or maybe goals
Okay.
and
So you focus on that. You tell them, you explain to them that they're not doing their goals and they're not following employee behavior.
maybe give them a warning first before
Mhm.
fire and listen very politely what to do with the employee and what they want to me also if I would be a boss, and maybe like I want to see first poor quality of work and how work is going on or not good, then I will talk.
Okay. Um, and then after you talk with them, what do you do?
Yes, and if maybe employee is not good and maybe not good work or maybe not hard work, then I will maybe fire.
You will fire them.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you say to them? How would you break it to them? What would you say?
Uh, I want to say just your work is not very well, and if office work is not going very hard and you are not giving 100% to your office work, then how I will give you promotion and how I will give you promote it in front of all the employee. So maybe I don't like your work. So please, I will inform like not in the front. Maybe I will give him later to explain all the things in that later only.
Okay. So you'll explain, you won't say everything in front of the others. You will take them aside, and say, and say these things.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Um, and what is it to you? Have you ever been fired yourself?
Sorry, ma'am.
Have you ever been fired?
Maybe I will be fire that employee.
No, no, no. In your life, has Kushbu ever been fired from a job?
No, ma'am, never.
No.
No, I think I will give 100% in my work, and I'm very hardworking. So maybe I will never get.
Good. Okay. Good, no worries. Um, okay, I'll move on to Veena now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Veena. And what about you? Have you ever been fired?
No, thank God. I have left jobs, but I have not been fired.
Yeah. That's always good. And how would you go about firing someone? How would you fire someone?
It's not good to fire someone because everyone is working, they're giving their best for their job. But if I have to fire someone, I'll first ask him, give him time for 1 month. I'll ask
Mm-hmm.
him to work properly. And if again he is not working properly, then I'll fire him. I'll give him his suspension letter. You have been suspended from your job. Now you can leave.
Okay, so you'd give him like a warning and
Yeah.
then give him a paper saying you've been suspended.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. What would the reasons, so if you were to fire someone, what kind of qualities, what kind of reasons really would get to you that you want to fire them?
Main reason his work if he's not doing the work properly what he is assigned, this
Mm-hmm.
time I can manage. Okay, time he's not giving. If there are two type of workers, one worker is who works 12 hours and does nothing, and one worker is who works 3 hours and does everything. So time
Yeah.
does not matter for me, but I want the work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the thing. Main, if I have assigned him for any work, he should finish that work.
Okay. And would you happen, like, say this worker said he's got problems at home. He comes up with an excuse as you're firing him that he has, problems at home or problems, mental problems or emotional problems or social, financial, some kind of problem. Would you then?
Earlier, I told you I'll give him 1 month time. In 1 month,
Mhm.
I'll understand what is his condition, why he is not doing the work, and if I'll find that he has some mental issue or some any financial issue, I'll try to resolve all this problem. And if then also he's not working properly, then I'll fire him.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's a good strategy. I mean, you get to test them like that.
Yes.
What about you, Kushbu? Kushbu, would you give them a month's trial or would you just fire them?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you give them the month's trial like Veena, or would you just fire them?
No, ma'am, I will give him some time, like maybe 15 days or maybe 1 month. Then I will fire someone.
Okay. Okay, so you'd give them like a little warning.
Yes.
Run before I hit.
Yes.
All right.
If you
Okay, good.
if you're not working properly, then I will give you warning. Maybe you focus on your work. Then I will talk to you after a month.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well
Yes.
done. Well
Thank
done to you both. Okay. Kuraj.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So I have two things to ask you today. First of all is, now, do you know what motivation is?
Yes, ma'am, I know it.
What is motivation? How can you explain it to me?
Ma'am, motivation is the thing which a person want to do, and he's like, ma'am, motivated for that.
Okay, that he wants to do something. Okay, good. And what can cause this motivation to die? What can cause lack of motivation?
Ma'am, I think boring, ma'am, boringness. Like
Being
he,
bored.
yes, ma'am, being bored.
Okay, so being bored and things being boring will cause this
Yes,
lack
ma'am.
of. All right. Okay.
Definitely.
Oh, is your dad there?
Yes, ma'am, he is.
Okay. Yeah. I will continue after you. I will speak to your father. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Very good. So my next question to you, Yuraj, is, can you imagine ever firing anyone? Would you ever fire anyone?
No, ma'am, actually, it is not good for anyone because everyone is giving his 100% in his work. But
Mm-hmm.
if someone is not doing his work properly, he is not giving his 100%, then I will give him a chance. uh, I will give him some warnings, like 2 or 3 times I will give him warning
Mm-hmm.
to work properly. And if he is not doing work he's properly, then I will say him that now you will be suspended after 1 week. So find any job for you, any other job for you. Till then I will give you your payment
Okay.
of daily.
That's a
and
very
af-
yes.
and after that, ma'am, I will suspend him.
That's a very professional way of doing it. It's, even though you're very young, you have a very professional way of dealing with it. Okay, good. And you've you've not have you ever seen anyone else get fired?
No, ma'am, I
No,
have not.
you've never been in a situation to see that. Okay, I'll speak to your dad now, Yuraj. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So what about you? How would you fire someone?
As a boss in my own company, suppose I have recruited about 100 people in my company,
Mhm.
and among of them, there is someone who is not working properly. I will definitely give him some warning to change himself and do work according to the rule and regulation of the company, and
Mhm.
I will also suggest him to not break the protocol of the company, and I will definitely look him that he is ready to change himself uh, or not. And after giving some warning and giving some time, if he is not changed, then I will simply give him his salary, and I will also, before doing this, I will also give him a due date before he could find a job for himself, and after that due day, I will simply give him his salary and terminate him.
Okay, so you would give him a date,
Due date.
a kind of due date. Okay, or rather than due date, maybe
That
the date of
at
termination.
the due date of his termination.
Yes. Yes, exactly. The date of termination, so that they will know a month in advance. So they will know a month in advance.
Right, ma'am.
Find a job. All right, okay. And what is it that would make you fire someone?
Ma'am, negative attitude of someone makes me to fire someone.
Mhm.
If
Just
there
bad
is someone
attitude.
who is not positively charged for any company, uh, that is very harmful for any firm or company, and in that case, it makes me to fire someone. It will make me to fire someone.
Okay.
Negative attitude towards company.
Okay. So any negative attitude would be towards the company would be enough to get you
Yes,
saying,
ma'am.
okay, you're out. Okay, very good. Well done. And have you ever experienced getting fired yourself?
No, ma'am. Actually, I have left my job on number of occasions, but this type of situation never came in my life.
Mm-hmm. Good.
When I was fired by my boss
Mm-hmm.
in any firm or company, I have never faced such kind of situation in my whole life. I have left my job by my own choice, but there was not such issue when I was fired by my boss in any firm or company.
Okay, good. Well done. I will move on to Aritra now. Well done, Neeraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, Aritra. So what about you? How would you fire someone?
Yes, ma'am. Now, once I set up my company, then my employees are required to follow my vision. If I set up my company, then I would have a certain vision. Then I would instruct all of my employees to work in that particular vision. Now, if an employee tries to work in his way or tells me something negative that it can't be done, that can be done, or give excuses, then I would fire him.
Okay. And have you ever been fired yourself?
No, ma'am, I'm just a student.
Oh, you've never. Okay. No, I'm just wondering. Maybe you had a job, a part-time job somewhere.
No.
Okay. Okay. So what is it exactly that would make you? What characteristics will definitely get you firing someone?
Can you repeat the question?
What characteristics in an employee would make you fire them?
Negative characteristic, like giving excuses like this can't be done, that can't be done, how is this possible? Always conflicting with my vision, or doing things in his own way, trying to doing things in his own way, then I would fire him.
Okay. And how do you deal with an employee who tells you, well, look, but I'm going through something at the moment?
Going through means?
Going through something. I'm going through an emotional period, or a financial situation in my life.
Okay, that can be considered. But the thing is that, you see, in a particular company, if one employee fails to do a particular task, if one employee is not working up to the mark, then the other employees who are working up to the mark would suffer too. Now for one employee, all of the employees would suffer. If for one employee the entire company suffered, then I can't consider his mental stress or financial problem, because I have to save my company. So just because one employee has financial problem, then I cannot let the other employees down because of him. So in that case, I think I won't consider that.
Okay. And is there that you would consider it, but how would you deal with it, and what would you say to him?
I would say that simply, you are not capable in working in my company. You are not capable of working in my company.
Okay, so you would really be, quite hard.
Yeah.
You won't have. And how much time would you give them? Would you give them enough time, or would you just
Yes, I would give
fire
them
them
a warning. I would, of course, give them a warning about 1 month.
a month's warning? Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. I'll move on to. Thank you. Well done. I'll move on to Prapti.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Prapti. So, how about you? How would you fire someone?
Ma'am, firstly, I would check means all his performances, and if it's not good, then I will discuss with him politely and explain the things to him. And if then also he didn't improve his work, I will give him a warning so that he can find a new job for him. And then also, if he doesn't improve, then I will fire him.
Okay. And what kind of attitude or characteristics would make you fire someone?
Ma'am, his work may not be up to the mark, or he may not be regular or honest for the company, or if he may not be cope up with the company, then I will fire him.
Okay. And have you ever been fired yourself?
Ma'am, now so I am a student, and so I didn't face such situation to fire anyone.
Okay. And have you ever been in a situation like, do you know of anyone who got fired?
No, ma'am, I have seen in only films, not in real
Oh, in
life.
films. Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, who can complain about that? And what do you think? Same situation, if they have a personal issue going on, how would you handle it? What would you say?
Ma'am, I will understand his problem and also help out in that. But he should also means understand that his office work is also important. So he should also cope up with us.
Okay. Okay, good. I'll move on to Anisha now. Well done, Prapti.
Hello, a very good evening.
Hello, very good evening to you too. How are you?
Ma'am, I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm good, thank you. So the big question of today, how would you fire someone?
First, I will provide them with the notice period that your work is not up to the mark, and that's why the company has decided to fire you from the job.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So that
And
if
mhm.
he's looking, if he or she wants to really quit the job, then they can start with their own looking for another job or something like that.
Okay, good. And what would you say to them? How would you say it to them? So imagine I'm the person you're firing. I'm in front of you right now, and you're gonna fire me. What would you say to me?
Your last month's performance was not up to the mark, so the whole company has means I will just call you to my cabin because I won't be just saying this in front of everyone. I will be just calling to you in my cabin or something like that, and I will say that the company has decided to fire you because of your last month's performance. We are providing you with 1 month notice period. If you can come up to what our marks are, what means what our goals are, then it's well and good. You won't be fired, and if you won't, then you are going to be fired from our company.
Okay. And what if so what if they tell you, but I've been going through stuff, that's why I've not been able to do this. Will you take that back? Will you say, okay, then I will take it back and I will speak to the board, or will you still go ahead with firing them?
Ma'am, if his or her performance in next means previous months are better, if he's a good performer, then I will be saying, yeah, I will be taking your consideration and I will be looking into the matter. But if he isn't performing well and he is giving excuses on and on, then I will just simply say that you have 1 month of notice period. After that, you will be fired.
Okay. And have you ever been in a situation?
Ma'am, I'm a college going student and I don't means I am not having any a part-time job, so I haven't faced any such situations where I am
Okay.
fired.
Okay, so you've never seen or you've never seen anyone, a friend or any relative who has been fired.
Ma'am, in such a big MNC, I haven't, but I have seen as due to the lockdown, many of the migrant workers were fired
Okay,
because
due to lockdown.
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So
and
I
how do
have
you
seen
think?
in a large scale.
And how do you think that felt to fire someone because of lockdown?
Ma'am, obviously it affected their means their budget and all that because they are a means daily worker means they earn daily wages, so it affects them a lot, not getting proper meal. And as there was lockdown, there was hustle everywhere, so that grains were getting exhaust means grains were getting out of stock and everything. That's why the price was increasing, and those migrant workers couldn't afford it.
Okay,
So it
very
has
good.
affected them to a very large scale.
Absolutely. Okay, very good. I'll move on to Shubhajit for the last one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. So how would you fire someone? What would you say to them?
Ma'am, first I will give them a feedback that their work is not up to the mark. Then I will give them a warning if they still don't improve, and only after that I will fire them if they are still not doing like improving themselves. I will give them some time, like 1 month, and if they still don't improve, then I will fire them.
Okay. And imagine I'm the person you're firing right now in front of you. Can you tell me what words you will use? Like how will you say to me? Imagine I'm that person.
Ma'am, I will say that I am not satisfied with the kind of effort you are putting in on a daily basis. And I think that this company needs to work with people who are motivated and have the same kind of vision as me. So I think that you should find a different job.
Okay. And what if I tell you, but I'm you know, I've been going through stuff. My family has had financial issues. I'm trying to take care of children. I don't have anywhere to go to for money. I really need this job. What will you do?
Ma'am, for that, I will give them some time. I will let them look into other places and see if they can find a better job. And only after that, I will fire them.
Okay, and what if they can't find a better job? What if this is the best I can do?
Ma'am, I will give them some time, but if they can't come up with a different job, still I have to fire them because my first priority is my company. Because my company not only supports that person, but also 10 different other people. So I need to look after everyone.
Okay, very good. And how do you feel COVID has affected people and firing each other? Has it become easy now? And it has become a very easy thing to do to say, oh, you're fired because of COVID? Or has it actually become harder?
Ma'am, COVID has had a significant impact. Only last day I was doing a case study in my college where we found out that the unemployment rate in India has gone up to 27%. So it has made things very difficult, and like especially for the migrant workers who are facing huge difficulties during this situation.
Okay. And last question to you is, do you know of anyone who has been fired, or have you had a part-time job at any time and you've been fired?
I have never had a part-time job, but I have seen people get fired. Like in the
Okay.
COVID situation, also some of my friends have got fired.
Okay, and these friends of yours that got fired, how
They're
has it made
actually
you
much
feel?
older than me. They're actually much older than me.
Yeah. No, it's all right, but how did it make you feel?
How did it make? I don't know. Like they got fired, not me. So I don't feel anything about that. Obviously, a little
Okay,
sad because they're my friends, but still.
okay. And you didn't feel at any point like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go through that, like feel a bit scared or anxious for yourself for the future?
Mama, this situation is temporary, so I know that it will pass, and I am just focused on my work and improving myself. If I have the talent, then I will definitely get a job or start my own company. So it depends upon me how much hard I am willing to work. It does not depend upon the external situation.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, guys, today we have spoken quite a bit about how you would fire someone and what would you say and how would you word it and what would you allow and not allow. So I hope this has been helpful for you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.